Welcome back to This Week in Magic Online Finance. I'm your host, Chaz Andres. Let's get started with the news, and the biggest story of the week, of course, is that the banned and restricted announcement is dropping, well, depending on when you're watching this video, either a few hours from now, or a few hours ago, or maybe yesterday, but even still, I think it's worth talking about, especially considering yesterday I saw a post on Reddit with somebody asking, is Teferi going to get banned in Standard? So, yeah, no, that didn't happen, I can tell you that. So we do need to have a little bit of a refresher discussion on how these announcements work and what we're likely to see. First of all, it's worth remembering that the threshold for banning a card in Standard is still incredibly high. Think about Goblin Chain Whirler. Wizards of the Coast has now let that card dominate 2 straight Pro Tours. There's still a very small chance it's getting banned this time around, and that's because rotation is soon. They're going to let rotation do their dirty work for them. They're not going to ban a card in Standard in late August. The only thing that I thought might have happened was that Nexus of Fate could have gotten the axe for supply reasons, but then they came out and made those announcements about how Nexus of Fate is actually more common than all the other mythics in Core Set 2019, so obviously that was there to preempt any discussions about banning that card. It's also worth remembering that modern unbans tend to happen in January, not in August. And look, there's a non-zero chance that Stoneforge Mystic or Green Sun Zenith or Splinter Twin or whatever comes off the list, and all those associated cards shoot to the moon, in which case you should sell your copies immediately into that hype. But it's worth buying into those in November or December more than in August, because those unbans tend to happen at the very start of the new Eternal season in January or early February. And that, of course, leaves modern bannings. And if anything's going to happen today, the most likely scenario is that either Krark Clan Ironworks or Ancient Stirrings is going to get the axe from the format. Krark Clan Ironworks, of course, is the key card in Ironworks combo, which is really good right now. It's also the sort of deck that Wizards of the Coast does not really like to be good in Modern, so that one might go. Ancient Stirrings, of course, is very comparable to both Ponder and Preordained, 2 cards that are already banned. It's a 4 of in Ironworks, so that would be a good way to sort of kill the deck without not really killing it. It's also a 4 of in Mono Green Tron, one of the other 2 or 3 most powerful decks in the format. So either of those 2 cards getting banned is definitely a possibility. So what do you do if you own one of these 2 decks and one of your best cards gets banned? Well, it depends on the deck. Obviously, Krark Clan Ironworks is not going to survive the loss of Krark Clan Ironworks, so most of these cards can be sold right away, even into that initial loss, but Tron, I think, will be fine. It might not be at the top of the format anymore, but some version of Tron, some deck playing Karn Liberated and all of those Urza Tron lands is going to be successful. So, in fact, it might even be worth picking up extra copies at a discount if that deck tanks too much if Ancient Stirrings is banned. Let's move on to Gaining Ground, where in Standard, our biggest winner of the week was yet again Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. It's been climbing for weeks. It climbed another 3 tickets this week from 37 up to 40, and that's where it appears to have peaked. It's leveled off at this 40 ticket mark, and that's where I think the card's short-term ceiling lies. But what about the longer-term price? Well, the price of Teferi over the next couple of months is going to be dictated almost entirely by how much play the card sees in post-rotation Standard. The card sees enough Modern play to at least maintain a price tag of 20 or 25 tickets, so if it no-shows in Standard after Guilds of Ravnica drops, it'll probably be somewhere in that 20 to 25 ticket range. If, however, Teferi becomes a crucial format staple in the new Standard, as I expect it probably will, it could flirt with 50 or even 60 tickets come mid-October. Let's move on to Modern, where the biggest gainer of the week is old friend Jace the Mind Sculptor. It surged 8 tickets this week from 42 all the way up to 50. And yeah, the card has been kind of a disappointment relative to expectations since it was unbanned. It was supposed to take the format by storm. It didn't really do that, but it is a key card in the blue-white control deck that's doing really well in Modern right now. And this price chart continues to climb. I wouldn't be surprised if Jace ends up around 60. Don't forget that sets like Masters 25 don't sell nearly as many copies online as in paper because the EV is so much slower on MTGO, so there's still some room to grow here for Jace. Let's go to our biggest loser, where in Standard it was Karn, Scion of Urza. It dropped 7 tickets from 30 down to 23, and to me, this is Karn's short-term floor. Look at the price chart, it seems to have stabilized at that 23 ticket mark. It sees play in Modern, it sees play in Legacy, it is probably going to see play in post-rotation Standard. So if you agree with me and you think that it will, now is the time to buy in. Moving on to Modern, our biggest loser of the week was Leyline of the Void, also dropping about 7 tickets. It fell from 26 to about 19, but of course, a week and a half ago, this card was just 15 tickets. This is the market recorrecting after a massive spike in the wake of the Pro Tour, and honestly, I think it's going to come back up from here, or at least stabilize. Leyline of the Void is incredibly well positioned right now. It's one of the 10 most played cards in all of Modern. It can absolutely maintain a 20 ticket price tag. So now is an okay time to buy in if you need them. Now, the sneak of the week this week is Stoneforge Mystic, a card that was about 6 tickets a week ago. It's up to about 10 tickets now. It's probably going to drop off again if it isn't unbanned in Modern, because the same thing happened in June, the last time there was a ban and restricted announcement. And this is a non-traditional sneak. It doesn't have that nice upward chart I'm looking for, but I just wanted to remind people that cards like this, you can make a decent buck buying them about 2 or 3 weeks before the ban and restricted announcement, and then selling them into the hype a day or 2 before. You don't have to wait to see whether they're going to get unbanned or not. There's still plenty of profit to be made just buying these things and flipping them, and then buying them again next time and flipping them again, with really all of the cards on the Modern banned list. As always, we're going to end the week by taking a look at the MTGOTraders sales data over the past 7 days. And this gives us a great idea of which cards are selling the best on Magic Online right now, regardless of price trends. Taking a look at overall sales by volume, it's our usual rogues gallery of multi-format commons and uncommons at the top of the list. It's things like Lightning Bolt and Duress and Fatal Push that are always up there. But if we look at the top rare sold by volume, it's an interesting one. It's Psy Master Thopterist. And I'm not sure if this card is going to find a home immediately post-rotation. It's in the mono blue artifacts deck in Standard that's probably not going to survive. It's in Krark-Clan Ironworks in Modern, and that one might not survive either. But any card that sees this much play in multiple formats is a solid long-term pickup. Psy Master Thopterist is less than a ticket right now in MTGO, and I'm definitely going to make sure I have a set or 2 in my collection just in case. In terms of overall sales by price, it's still Teferi's world that we're all living in. He's got yet another week at the top of those charts that's likely to continue. Beyond Teferi, it's a lot of Modern staples. It's things like Mox Opal, Horizon Canopy, and Jace the Mind Sculptor that reflect the needs of the format's top decks. It's also worth noting that Nexus of Fate is still in that top 10, so despite the price tanking last week, despite the flood of the market, there's still demand for these cards. I think that card has hit bottom. It is a solid buy right now. That's all I got for you today. I'm Chaz Andres. I will see you next Monday morning for yet another episode of This Week in Magic Online Finance.
Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome MTG content just like this. And make sure to tap the bell icon to be notified whenever a video is made live. If you want to keep watching content, here are 2 more videos for you. This video and many others are sponsored by MTGOTraders and Cape Fear Games. Buy and sell digital singles to build your online collection today with MTGOTraders, and get your paper singles, accessories, and much more from Cape Fear Games. Whatever your Magic needs, both places have you covered.